something. What did he do this time? What did Logan Paul do this time? What is it? What is it this time?
Uh-oh,
Yeah, but a piece
Logan
of it,
Paul's being
though.
called a scammer again. Wow. Would you look at that? The sky is
Oh,
blue
is that the thing? Is that the thing that it says like the whole percentage or so about the card in general? Is that
today
what that
as well.
is?
So, I mean, unfortunately, Logan Paul has everything needed to succeed as a well-liked entrepreneur, except he chooses to not be liked. To me, it seems like the dude just chooses to wake up every single day, and instead of providing value, he chooses to figure out some way to
Okay, look. I get it. You know, if you get scammed one time, you're kind of like, ah, shit. You know, I feel bad for you. But like, when this dude has done it multiple times and you're still falling for it and you're still paying money or so, do I really feel sorry for you at the end of the day? Not really. No. I think you're just a fucking dumbass with money.
Track value. I mean, just look at what the guy has done to the Pokemon card economy. Logan saw a market that was primed to inflate, used to his advantage, and wring out every single cent possible. And now he's showing no signs of stopping. It's giving Tulip Mania for sure, because there's only so many people that would want to spend $16 million on a Pokemon card that has some questions regarding its grading. But I mean, the dude has been traveling the world and collecting Pokemon cards, and he's been synonymous with many...
What the fuck? This man is going around the world collecting Pokemon cards? What the hell? I'm already at the point like this to these people.
things over the years. Force in Japan, failed crypto projects, Pokemon cards, and greed unlike any influencer I've ever seen. And now he's back at it again, making headlines yet again. Because this time he sold his infamous PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator card for a whopping $16.5 million. And there are a bunch of people online who claim that Logan actually had...
Logan, you co-founded a company that sold tokenized ownership of this card. I was one of those owners. How are you going to take care of those transactions? Worth noting that Logan sold shares of this card before rug pulling the shareholders and has now sold it again and is actively blocking people on Twitter mentioning this fact. Jesus Christ.
Logan actually had zero.
Logan Paul did an IPO for fractionalized shared of the Pokemon card. The card was placed on a platform as a RWA, promised the owners of the share controlled the physical asset. Investors bought 100% of the shares, being told that the card was sold, they would receive the payout equivalent to the amount of shares they own. He sold the Pokemon card, keeping 99% of the money, thus not honoring the contract set forth by the platform he created. That's crazy. You know the worst thing is? That card isn't a PSA 10. It's not a PSA 10? What is it, a PSA 9 or something? Yeah, he lied about the card too? Jesus Christ. Oh my god, dude. I feel sorry for the Pokemon fan base, to be honest.
Right to do that, both morally and legally. And not only that, he's also already pushing his next digital Pokemon card project before the last one is even blown over. So do you guys remember this card? The one he made his entire personality. The one he allegedly spent $5.3 million on. The one he set the Guinness World Record on and wore to WrestleMania.
You might have seen the card I was wearing around my neck.
This is the rarest card in the entire world.
The most valuable Pokemon card in the entire hobby.
The holy grail right here.
See, when I first started in Pokemon, like most curious collectors, I looked up the most expensive Pokemon card. And this was it, the Pikachu Illustrator.
So this is apparently the quote-unquote rarest Pokemon card of all time. Once it was just a fable, whispered among collectors and fans alike. Now, I guess it just serves a questionable way for Logan Paul to obtain wealth, and I guess his need to throw it around for reasons unknown.
$16 million.
16 million.
Whoa.
16 million. 16.1, baby.
Well, what's actually the problem, besides the fact that $16.5 million for a single Pokemon card is absolutely insane? Well, we could start with the fact that Logan technically isn't supposed to own the card, at least fully outright, or at least not more than, roughly half of it. Because if you're confused about how anyone else could own parts of his card while it's clearly iced out around his neck in his possession, don't worry, I'll explain. Because Liquid Marketplace, that was introduced in 2021 to 2022 as a way for regular people to co-own top-tier assets like expensive trading cards and NFTs. So instead of just one rich...
Why are we still talking about NFTs in the year 2026? Fucking get this shit out of my goddamn screen, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. This shit doesn't want to stay dead, does it? It keeps coming back almost every single time. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck is going on here? Fucking leave that shit in the past. That shit is dead, bruh.
Rich guy hoarding these expensive assets. You now have multiple rich guys hoarding expensive assets, but then normal people can buy digital IOU tokens to, I guess, owning these digital assets that these rich guys are hoarding. What could go wrong? Apparently a whole lot.
So you may have seen me introduce myself as a co-founder of Liquid Marketplace. I think our team is what solidifies us as one of the most dominant fractionalization co-owners.
The cope is strong with those guys. What, brother? I can tell this video is a scam. God, Jesus Christ.
Platforms. We have the most elusive, top-tier, rarest assets in the world for the entire world to co-own.
Yes, I will be listing this card on a platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace.
Co-own on Liquid Marketplace. The one and only PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator now available on Liquid Marketplace.
So the premise is simple. Liquid Marketplace could hold on to the physical item in their vault and sell shares of these items in the form of tokens on their website. It sounds eerily similar to a new thing that he's promoting called Ripet, but we'll get into that later on in this video. So Logan has essentially referred to himself as the co-founder of Liquid Marketplace on numerous occasions, and even went as far to promote the fact that you would be able to be a part owner of his super rare PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator Pokemon.
Why would you want to be a part owner of a goddamn Pokemon card? What do you go? You're gonna start ripping it or something like that? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna start ripping it and giving it to somebody? Here you go. Here's 10%. There you go.
On card through the site. So if the allure of a possible financial gain wasn't enough, Logan also sold fans on the idea that by purchasing digital shares of this card, you were also a part of the world record, and even part of his WrestleMania walkout, and even a part of Pokemon history. I mean, who in the Low gang wouldn't want that? And because, he was reportedly selling 51% of the card on Liquid Marketplace, that meant that he wasn't supposed to be able to make decisions without majority approval. Things like, say, auctioning off on a live stream while yelling and banging a gong.
What are we at? Current bid on the Illustrator, $12 million.
But naturally, some of Logan's fans bought into this hype so much.
I just can't believe there are people who do fall for this. I honestly, there are just some people who really should not deserve to have that much money.
So that he allegedly fractionalized roughly 51% of it for a reported $2.6 million. But you'll see Logan heavily denies this on Twitter. So who knows if it really happened, but this is what the streets are saying, because, hey, I'm just a villager idiot. I'm just reporting on what's going on. But like many other crypto NFT marketplaces that were created during the NFT boom, Liquid Marketplace pretty quickly had its fair share of problems. A big one being the lack of liquidity on Liquid Marketplace. The irony does write itself, which is kind of beautiful in this moment. But allegedly, users couldn't withdraw funds, and features that were promised on launch were yet to be added, and on top of that, no one was getting any information on what was even happening. And naturally, Liquid Marketplace eventually failed, and currently it's facing fraud charges from Canada's Ontario Securities Commission.
Wow, shocker. Wow. A scammer making a scamming platform? Surprise Pikachu phase?
Logan Paul, it's worth noting, and very important to note, is not involved in that investigation, though. Let me just repeat that because I'm not trying to get backhanded here, but Logan is not facing any charges from Canada's Ontario Securities Commission, as of recording this video at least. But this behavior might help explain the mismanaging going on behind the scenes.
No fucking wonder he gets away with shit, What the hell, dude? He gets like no consequences whatsoever. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do and he gets no fucking consequences. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with your guys' society? Holy cow, man.
Because he does have a track record of working with some shady types, to put it lightly. But of course, the value of the Pikachu Illustrator shares dropped as the site struggled, and Logan was allegedly able to buy them back for a fraction of the price due to an alleged clause. And this never personally reimbursed his fans, who essentially got rug pulled by him. And allegedly, he never really followed up on this either. According to him, he was told that when he bought back the shares for a reported $250,000, which is, peanuts compared to the initial value, that the money would be distributed to their fractional owners based on their respective percentages. Only a 90% loss there for all the holders, but at least Logan makes some money. But actually, scratch that. Allegedly, the 90% loss didn't even happen. It was basically 100% loss because they didn't see anything from that investment. Again, allegedly, the money just went poof. It was gone. As soon as it was sent to Liquid Marketplace.
Maybe he needs that money for the Prime lawsuit. He's probably running out of money, so probably needs it. So that makes sense.
Gone forever. So I guess no one got reimbursed, and I guess Logan Paul had no idea this whole time. But all of the tweets that Logan's been making in an attempt to do damage control are getting community noted with reminders that Logan himself boasted about being a Liquid Marketplace co-founder multiple times on multiple platforms. And he sort of is, reputationally at least, on the hook for some of these actions, especially in the early days. Because this definitely does not look good for his reputation nor his image. Because, this destroyed his reputation yet again. Because, it doesn't...
But for some apparent reason, there are still people who actually donate him, and they still fall for the goddamn scams every goddamn time. Every time, there are still people who fall for it. I'm just saying, It
seems like people are just coming up with this stuff on their own. The clips are everywhere. So, of course, eyebrows started to raise when Logan announced that he was going to be selling the card in partnership with Golden Auctions, owned by Ken Golden, who is quite the character himself. Here's a quote from Twitter, from Dub Mentality. "Let me get this straight. If you don't like his company, you're too poor to buy from him. And you also don't like collectibles. Is that about it?" And then he quoted this video.
"You just don't understand the business and you just want to hate. What I find is the people that complain about stuff are the people that will never be my customers in the first place, normally do not have the money to spend to buy a single thing on golden.com. And they just want to and be bitter because they can't be happy. They want to tear down an industry. Maybe they missed the train. Maybe they have nothing better to do with their life. If you love collectibles, then you love this sale."
All right, dude. That was certainly a response. But Golden Auctions, they've already raised concerns from people online who seem to think they're not so legit. And immediately, all of the old partial owners of this card who thought they had the IOU tokens of this card, they were still waiting for some of their payouts and started to wonder if they would actually see any reimbursement from the sale that just happened, since, they'd essentially been rug pulled by Logan's platform, in their opinion. Because people rightfully so called it unfair and not his card to sell, because wasn't he supposed to only be the 49% owner? And even if he bought back all the shares fair and square, but the problem is, the investors allegedly didn't even get their shares or any money back for that buyback. So I don't know what's going on there. I feel like the coolest thing he could do here is just give all the investors their
whoever paid 16 million or so, 16.5 million. If you want to lose that money, just donate it to me. if you just want to get scammed or so, just donate it to me, man. That's all I gotta say, I'm just saying, you're putting it in a good cause because that'll go straight towards, video game making. I'm just saying.
Portion of that sale, because then he still pockets roughly $8 million from this, or well, after taxes less, but on paper, he gets $8 million. And then he proves to the world, look at that, I did something that actually made people money. Why wouldn't he do that? Because these fans believed him, even after he proved time and time again to be, less than trustworthy. Crypto Zoo.
Why are his fans still trusting him? What's wrong with all y'all Logan fans, dude? Y'all Logan fans have one fucking brain cell, I'm not gonna lie. Man, dude, honestly, I've never seen such retardation in my entire life, dude. It was the son of a movie director that wants to start a collection. Funnel of Cohen chat for the Mind Gotcha funds. Yeah, man, that's not even, that money wouldn't even fucking scratch the surface of getting a C6 character in Withering Waves. That wouldn't even scratch the surface.
Dink doink. There's probably a handful of others I can't remember off the top of my head as well. But I guess in the end, it seems like Logan thinks
I can literally retire and just make Twitch videos, Twitch live streams, and YouTube videos for the rest of my life.
he's off the hook because in a recent tweet, Logan claims that even though he offered to sell up to 51% of the card on Liquid Marketplace, he only actually sold a measly 5.4% for about $270,000 in 2022. My main question is then, where is the $2.6 million from? Because that's a pretty big difference to say the least. But I mean, with all the threads on Reddit, people showing themselves being blocked by Logan in real time, it feels like there's more than just a few people who allegedly lost some money here. But now they're all online and some of them are trying to hold Logan accountable any way possible. And then you have others in the whole separate camp who consider themselves smarter for not falling victim to this ploy and are reminding people that apparently the site's terms and conditions said that they could decide to sell the item without consulting the shareholders. So it's sort of on them in their opinion. But overall, I mean, this just shows you why you should never put money and anything like this. So technically, by the terms, Logan had every right to sell the card for its outrageous price tag to an equally outrageous buyer, because the winning bid for the rare card was placed by the venture capitalist AJ Scaramucci, the son of former White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci. But for reasons I don't know, AJ Scaramucci is reportedly on a quest to collect the uncollectible. He reportedly also hopes to eventually buy a T-Rex dinosaur fossil and the Declaration of Independence on his planetary treasure hunt. And AJ was...
That person has way too much money. That guy has way too much money. Just hey, Mr. AJ, just come donate to me, you know?
He's even ready nearby on the live stream to come receive his new card, or chain, I guess.
Is that him? Is that him? Is that the dude? Is that the dude that spent 16 million for that stupid Pokemon card? No, that's not it. Why do you show a video on it, huh?
Falling victim to this ploy and are reminding people that apparently the site's terms and conditions said that they could decide to sell the item without consulting the shareholders. So it's sort of on them in their opinion. But overall, I mean, this just shows you why you should never put money and anything like this.
No, that is
technically
him?
By the terms, Logan had every right to sell the card for its outrageous price tag to an equally outrageous buyer, because the winning bid for the rare card was placed by the venture capitalist AJ Scaramucci, the son of former White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci. But for reasons I don't know, AJ Scaramucci is reportedly on a quest to collect the uncollectible. He reportedly also hopes to eventually buy a T-Rex dinosaur fossil and the Declaration of Independence on his planetary treasure hunt. And AJ was even ready nearby on the live stream to come receive his new card.
That's him. Yeah. That is him. He just said it. That is him. That's him right there. That's that dude. That is that dude right there. That is him.
Or chain, I guess. So that made a lot of people speculate, wait a second, was all this planned?
Let me see. So it's bought by AJ Scaramucci and son of Anthony Scaramucci. I don't know who the fuck is these people anyways. He runs a Solari Capital, which does a lot of deals with the Trump family and Saudis. This is more likely just a marketing business deal. I don't believe anyone believes the card is worth that much, but the views it brings by breaking records ends up buying more views than other forms of advertising. Jesus Christ. He never...
To begin with, to build hype with an enormous sale around this site. I don't know. But whether it's for AJ's planetary treasure hunt or Logan's newest endeavor, Ripet.co, I don't know. And speaking of, let's talk about the new project. So Ripet.co is another website built...
Let me guess. It's called Ripet, right? So I assume there are these things that you can get, right? I assume like Pokemon cards or something like that, like because I'm seeing it here. I assume like you can pay money or so to like open them or something, but then we're gonna find out that there's really nothing in it or something. Yeah, there's already another business already. Hey, Shido. The future of collecting starts now. Get VIP early access to Rip packs. Yeah, there it is. That represents real physical graded cards. Sell them for instant cash. Store them in our vault. Or ship them straight to your door. Right.
Around virtual card openings, except on
It's Logan
Ripet, they're
Paul.
supposed
What do
to
you think?
represent real physical packs that you can
Take a
reportedly
good
then
guess.
choose to either sell for instant cash, store in their vault, or ship straight to your door. And I'm gonna be real here, but this sounds exactly like those hypebeast digital unboxing sites that his brother Jake Paul was promoting back in 2017. And I don't know about
Oof, those were the days or so. Back in 2017 with those digital gambling things. Oof, my God. That was an era and a half with rice gum and everything. It's just gambling, but with extra steps, yeah.
you guys, but to me, in my opinion, this kind of feels like gambling. Sure, one could argue that Pokemon cards are gambling, but having the immediate option to sell the cards for instant cash on this virtual unboxing website makes it seem a whole lot more like gambling to me. Seems like a big gray zone. But once again, Logan has his face comfortably plastered all across their branding and their website. So, will he scrub his ties with Ripet in a few years? Who knows?
Ripet is a new collectible platform co-founded by Logan Paul.
Of course.
Every single one of the first edition cards that are about to be pulled will be given away for free to those who join the waitlist for Ripet, including the guaranteed holographic card that could be a Charizard worth up to $550,000, maybe even more.
But the final allegation of this whole story, which Logan also denied on Twitter, is that he benefited from insider trading on Polymarket during the entire auction. But again, there's literally zero concrete evidence here. But a Twitter user did notice a Polymarket account with the same profile.
Oh my God, Logan Paul's inside traded the auction of his own Pikachu Illustrator on Polymarket for $300,000. The profile picture of the account that was the biggest winner in the market is exactly the same as the one he used in his promotional video for Polymarket. Wow, that's crazy, huh?
Account with the same profile photo as the one Logan had, profiting off of some pretty interesting bets during the auction. So these would be some bets from someone who would have an idea of what the sale price would be going for. Now, is this a coincidence? Logan seems to think so. And yeah, I guess someone could have changed their profile picture to the same one as his so that allegations like this would get thrown around. That's not crazy to assume. But like I said, again, Logan denies these claims completely. And I'm not giving an opinion there unless we get some more evidence here. But all I do know is the hobby of collecting Pokemon cards.
Even then, he has a track record of being the most controversial, YouTuber out there. So the book writes itself at the end of the day. Do I need to say more?
As it once was, is pretty much gone now. Normal people have unfortunately been priced out. Unless you buy a fractionalized promise, which honestly doesn't have a great track record either. Regardless though, I guess you could easily convince fans that buying into a Pokemon card or NFTs is a way to get rich. After all, he did just make millions. And the buyer tweeted about getting the card in the Pokemon Museum, which I guess is a great outcome from this. But at least for now, everything in this video are allegations and scorn fans venting about their frustrations and using blocks as proof that Logan is at fault. But I'm pretty sure he blocked me after I called him out for the whole Japan forest situation, so that was a minute ago. So I mean, I'm just guessing he pretty much blocks everyone who criticizes his garbage actions.
Pretty much.
But hey, 2026, or year of the flaming horse, I think it is. I guess Logan Paul thought that was just a great year to destroy his reputation yet again. But who knows? Knowing him, he'll probably be back with something else pretty soon. But regardless, I'm sure he has good enough lawyers that he would know if he's covered in a situation like this. But as you guys know, I'll be back with another video covering this if anything happens. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you
Honestly, not a shocker whatsoever, to be honest. His career should have died in that forest. Instead of ruining his reputation once more, Logan lived up to it. Yeah. How many times can someone ruin their reputation, and how many times are people gonna keep falling for shit? Apparently there's a lot of people who do, to be honest. Why are we still acknowledging this dude's existence? The crypto zoo couldn't contain him. At this point, it's not even him ruining his reputation, it's him keeping up his reputation. That is pretty true, not gonna lie, to be honest. Jesus Christ. Holy Lord, my lordy lord. I feel sorry for the Pokemon fans, I really do.